This is going to be me for the next 24 hours. At night, my TBR could just, remove me from this world. I'm kind of scared of it, actually, because the second I don't have a book to read, I'm gonna go into like a depression. I don't know. Okay, I'm gonna get on like a little tangent here. I will try and make it quick, but it's called a tangent for a reason. I cannot tell you the main girl. You literally could threaten to hurt me and I couldn't tell you. So yes, I'm judging a book by its cover. Sue me, I don't care. It was an indie book in Canada that is literally like the size of a meteor from space. Hello everyone and welcome to the video. If this is your first time seeing me, my name is Rachel and I love to read, obviously. And if you've seen me before, then thank you so much for coming back. Today I'm going to be doing a 24-hour reading challenge. I can say I'm going to read for 24 hours. I can picture reading for 24 hours and thinking, yeah, a day. If I read like 3 books in that time, 8 hours a book, not too bad. I've done one of these before. 24 hours feels like 48, at least. I did the timer method in my past one, and I'm going to be doing that in this one as well. My TBR is unmanageable, and we've just started the year, okay? And already I have way too many books. Between my Kindle, my physical TBR, and books that I just want to read in general, at night my TBR could just, remove me from this world. I'm kind of scared of it, actually. I've accepted that my TBR will never, ever be completely gone. And I don't want it to be gone because the second I don't have a book to read, I'm gonna go into like a depression. I don't know. The first book that I'm going to be reading, which is very monumental, this is the, oops, did I just touch my mic? Yes, I did get a mic for Christmas. I'm sure you can tell that the audio quality is way better than what we had before. Let's just pretend that didn't happen. I decided to go with At Least I'm Trying by Tara Hodgson. It's New Year, but I will still always have trouble pronouncing authors' names. I'm sorry. It says, told with searing honesty and lyrical depth, At Least I'm Trying is a poignant novel about mental health, girlhood, and what happens when the version of yourself you've worked so hard to become starts to fall apart. This is YA fiction, no spice, and girls are disappearing from their small, quiet town. And she meets this mysterious guy on Snapchat named Liam. And he starts acting very, very strange. There's red flags, the little voice screaming to her that something's not right. Already from that sentence alone, you know why this main character, Cassie, is in a kind of thriller mystery novel, because the field is full of red flags. Your conscience is telling you to get out and you don't. I'm not really sure what these people think is going to happen at this point. I also got this book at a book fair and it's signed, which means everything to me. And it is the most gorgeous cover. I just want to sit and stare at it, which is what I've kind of done ever since I bought it. So I'm very excited to get started. I'm getting my boomer iPad out. Let's begin. You got a little something here, buddy. In your hair. No, you don't want me to help you? Okay. Hello, I come bearing an update. I have read for I'm not really sure what kind of an update is this. I've read for like about 3 hours. At least I'm trying. Okay, I'm sorry. I'm already on chapter 14, and this book, for nothing else other than this, is beautiful. There is like this beautiful rose pattern beside the start of a new chapter, and it's just so pretty. I fear that is my favorite thing about it so far. I love this little mic. I love holding it. It's my new best friend. If you see my Christmas video, I got this little notebook from my mom because she knows I love blue. But basically, I want to start posting more reviews on Instagram and including like the language, the spice kind of writing in the closed door realm and just like the content and everything. Okay, I'm going to get on like a little tangent here. I will try and make it quick, but it's called a tangent for a reason. I feel like a lot of the posts I see about closed door content, they'll usually just say closed door. They'll just say no spice. But when I say read that book, I feel like in the no spice realm, there is such a range of books from clean to me just teetering on that line to where we're basically in the act, but it's just not descriptive. I feel like I don't get enough information. I feel like I can't fully believe people when they say it's no spice because I read a book and I'm like, oh, I don't know if that is really no spice. I love and appreciate people that they say, this is the content warnings. There's this much language. I love you guys so much because then I know what is in the book and I can know, okay, this fits what I feel comfortable reading or not. So the point I'm trying to make here is I kind of want to start posting reviews saying all these things. Exactly. I just feel like I want to be more informative with my reviews and everything, especially on YouTube here. I feel like I talk more about it. This is my notebook of doom, because it tells about all the, not the bad things, just like the things that I think people should know about before they want to pick up a book. I have went on a rabbit hole that I fear doesn't even make sense. I probably will edit a lot of that out. I literally cannot keep the main character's name in my head. I know the main guy. I cannot tell you the main girl. You literally could threaten to hurt me and I couldn't tell you. Oh my goodness, like look at the back of the book. I'm acting like it's my first day doing a YouTube review. It's not. Okay, so our main character is Reese and basically her parents expect the absolute most of her. She is so sick of all the pressure because a scout comes to one of her volleyball games. She messes up. It's like her chances of doing that are screwed. So it's just a spiral from there. She starts, failing a test. She starts skipping class. She's going through it terribly. She's now met this guy, Liam. They are, drinking, they are partying, and that is not the girl that she was and truly is. She was the straight A student, and you can just see her start going down this slope that I am so scared of what's going to happen because it's in like a before and now timeline. So we see her before this incident happens and then her in this incident. I think it's a good lesson for us all to learn how easily it is to fall into traps, and especially with the day and age. I sound like I'm such a boomer right now. The one thing, though, that I did write down to talk about, because a memory is a sieve and I won't remember unless I write it down. Thank you, Holly, for being at my table. Her acknowledgements at the very beginning. I've just restarted watching Friends. If you know me, I'm obsessed with that show. So it was hilarious when she's talking about her husband and she says, I am so glad I didn't get on that plane 17 years ago and then I chose you as my partner. I won't say spoilers or anything, but if you like the show, that quote is gonna hit you in the chest. I need to rant about this book, and guess what? You're who I'm picking to rant to. I picked up this book thinking it was kind of a mystery thriller with like a dash of romance. YA. Keep that in your mind for the next thing I'm about to say. This book dives so deep into, I'll put the word on the screen, I'm not sure, I cannot say that. And I agree, it's a very important topic that needs to be discussed. Like it talks about how she falls for this guy through Snapchat, how there's so many warning signs, but she just ignores them all. She finds this new friend that makes her think, it's okay, he's fine, there's nothing wrong with what we're doing. Let me see how things like this can happen, and it's just so sad. I had to start skimming this at the very end because it gets so in the details of that and how it was for her in this place. My cat just tried to destroy my books. Thanks. And I asked the author before I even knew what this book was really about. So I was like, hey, is this closed door? She's like, yeah. And I'm like, all right, fine. This sounds awesome. It's YA. Should be great. I feel like I can handle a lot with hard topics and trigger warnings. Usually I'm like, okay, whatever. It's okay. I'll just read it. But this one was too much for me. I need a second to get my head out of this book because I am messed up a little bit. And that's specifically why I read no spice books. is because I don't want this kind of stuff. And I try so hard to avoid it. I ask authors. I scour Goodreads like the most obsessive person ever. I'm constantly on there searching spice. Close the door. Try to figure it out. And I try, and books still get through. And it annoys me so much because I bought this book. This book was a good amount. You know, in Canada, book prices are very expensive. And I'm like, I don't want this book. I do not want any part of this book in my room because I don't like it. And if I don't like it, why would I keep it? And I don't want to recommend it to everyone. I will never talk about this book ever again. So enjoy the cover while you see it because it's never coming back. I don't need to keep on ranting because soon you're not going to be able to hear me, which may be a gift because I've been talking for a little bit too long. I wish I could scream to the mountaintops about how much I love this book and why you should go support her and buy it, but I can't in good conscience do that. This almost has changed the directory of almost what I want to be reading and doing with this channel. Thank you for listening. If you listened through the whole thing, I really appreciate it. And if you were late, please comment because I feel like I need to talk to someone about this. The one good takeaway from this, I'll try and look on the bright side, is that only took me just over like 5 hours to read that whole book. And in the past, I was very slow at reading. Let's move on. I'm about to do something that a lot of readers would consider very psychotic, but is something I do very frequently. I'm still in the middle of reading, at least I'm trying, for this video. But you see, I can't read that right now because it's nighttime and it's just not a nighttime book. So I'm just gonna pick another book, still count the time, but I'm just gonna be a little bit in the future. Well, for you, I'm in the past. I don't know, wherever I am, I'm excited because I'm going to read Rook to King. It's drawn me in and I didn't even know what it was about. The cover alone. So yes, I'm judging a book by its cover. Sue me, I don't care. Now, what makes this extra psychotic is that this will be my third book that I will be currently reading once I start this, because I have a book that I read before bed. Obviously, the one thriller I don't want to read before bed. And now this one. I honestly cannot say how many books I will be currently reading at a time. I don't know if I even have a max. I might have done 4 at a time. If you'd like to bring your attention to the screen behind you, I am obsessed with these movies. I've watched this one 13,500 times, and I don't think I'm really exaggerating. Literally just the one song came on from this movie, from Love or whatever, however you say his name, and I was like, nope, I'm going to drop everything. I need to read this movie tonight, and I have to read while I do it. So that's what's happening. All I know so far about this book is that she is an antique dealer, he is an ex-con man, and they're both after the same chess set. I think he thinks it's in her business, so he like ends up like breaking in or something. There's a fire, he saves her, and I've been fairly warned. There is some mild language and a meddling grandma. Read at your own risk. I'm terrified. But it sounds really, really good, and I'm just really excited to get into it. Okay, so the clip that you just saw was me in the bookstore. And you have to stop letting me in there. I wasn't planning on getting anything because usually it's very hard to find closed door books in a normal bookstore. But look what I found. First of all, this says, "Go Away, I'm Reading," has a cat on it. I cannot tell if you can fully see it. It's the cutest thing ever. And I found 2 books. They were $6 each though. So for Canadians, that's a steal. The first one is How to Plot a Payback. And basically, it was so funny because I was just looking around in like the bargain section, I guess. And I'm like, that looks very familiar to a cover that I remember saying I wanted to read that was clean. And then I look and I'm like, Thomas Nelson. And then this one was sitting right beside it. It's So Into You. And she does like videos, literally what I'm doing right now. So I was like, yeah, okay, have to get that. This is my haul. I wasn't in there for very long, but I seem to be just like a big magnet when I enter a store. I don't think I can really even work on it. I don't see that's going to change. Moving on. I am reading Rook to King. I am obsessed with this book so much. It is an adventure romance. It's called that. And they are both trying to find this very, very priceless chess set. Supposed to have these clues on where to find this insane fortune. Sheila is running his antique store. You know, he's an ex-con man, not fully out of the whole against the law kind of thing. So he ends up breaking into her store. It's hilarious. But it's like now they're working together, but they're also still trying to get their own best interests in mind because they both want the treasure without the other person. And it's hilarious. The banter, the characters, I love it so much. I haven't found a book that has made me want to just sit and keep reading. That is such a lie. I just read Home Free and I cannot stop thinking about that book. That's a complete lie. But I didn't think after reading Home Free that I would find a book like this fast that I was just so in love with and in love with the characters and the couple. So I'm so thankful for that. But yeah, I don't see anyone talking about this again. What is wrong with you guys? I'm kidding, but like also seriously, what is wrong with you guys? You need to read this book. And now they're both off to Italy to try and figure out where the rest of these pieces are. So I am so excited to see what is going to happen now. I have like 40% of the way to go. So that's my update. I do have some quotes though for you. Here's some of their banter. Basically, he was trying to convince her to come and help him, and then he ends up forcefully taking her. She's like, "Where's your bag?" "My bag?" "Yes, the bag. You know, the nasty burlap sack." "I'm not going to pretend to be so advanced and able to keep up with the strange and wondrous thing that is your mind." And then she says, "The kidnapper bag, the one you stick over my head." He says, "I'll have to retake Kidnapping 101. I seem to have forgotten my bag." She says, "Of course. Call me when you're done and let me know when you're coming. That will have time to clean the place ahead of time." And he says, "I'm afraid this will have to be a learn on the job kind of experience. Let's go." That just gives you a taste of how they are with each other. Here's a different one. She says, "You didn't tell me I was going to have to socialize." In her head, she's like, "I need time to mentally prepare for that. What do I say? Do I talk about the weather? It's nighttime, so maybe I should talk about the stars?" And I said, "Me, socializing is a highly effective form of torture." And at a different point, she says, "I really do need my 10 hours uninterrupted of like sleep." And I said, "You and me sound like we're cut from the same granny cloth." I'm going to continue reading and feeding my obsession. I'm just going to address the elephant in the room. Yes, I'm wearing a Christmas sweater in January, but it has a Highland cow on it. It's the cutest thing ever. I don't believe I'll be strictly leaving it for Christmas because I'm obsessed with it. I realized as I was editing this video that I never talked about me finishing the last 2 books in this video, so here I am now. I absolutely loved this book so much. I was already looking and seeing what other books are in this series, what other books has this author written. I am so obsessed with it. I gave it 4.5 stars. It was so good. It was everything that I want in a romance. I want to find more romance books that are like that. They're just in like a different font. You know what I mean? I'm just so happy that I found it. It was just one of those books that I got for free on Kindle one day. And I was like, you know what? We're just going to pick it up. And lo and behold, it becomes one of my favorite books. Lo and behold? Who says that? I don't know. I guess I do. Okay, it feels like forever since I have updated. Please ignore that plate that is on my bookshelf. I haven't been feeling good, so I just decided to live here. Anyway, I had about 12 hours left when I started this book, and look at this book. I think it's the chunkiest book I own for sure. This is long. I don't even know. I think it's like 600 some pages. It's like almost 600 pages, and I am this far of the way through it. Now, I have already read this book once before. I'm absolutely loving rereading things lately. The first time I read this, I wasn't really loving it because this happens like right at the beginning, so it's not a spoiler. Okay, so this is a dark romance. He's like a crime lord. You look at him the wrong way, that's it, your life is over, literally. And he owns this club that our main female character goes to with her friends after work one day. She is not a club going person. She likes reading. She likes staying home and reading. You know, She describes herself as a grandma, so I see myself in her fully. So she ends up going, and there's this really creepy man that's hitting on her. So she's like, okay, what do I do? She's like, I'm gonna go find a guy to pretend to be my boyfriend. Of course, she goes up to this guy. His name is Vex. That'll give you just a little hint about what this book really is. I can hardly take him seriously when he's called that, to be honest. So he saves her from this guy, and she's like, I have to make you thank you cookies. And I'm like, a thank you cookie? Okay. I feel like, can we read the room a little bit and know that this guy doesn't want a thank you cookie? Okay, whatever. Reading the room is not a skill of hers. So she comes back later in like a week, and someone ends up putting something in her drink. Thankfully, nothing bad happens. She just ends up passing out in the bathroom. So he finds out, because it's obviously his club. And he's like, you are mine now. I will take care of you. I won't let nothing hurt you. He takes her back to his house. He doesn't live in a house. I think he lives in like a penthouse apartment. And then they go like clothes shopping because she doesn't have any clothes. I'm realizing more and more that you just have to read this book in the right headspace. And then it's very entertaining. Because I was reading it before with the knowledge of like normal world knowledge. You know what I mean? And I'm like, this is really weirding me out, which it still kind of does. To me, it's still kind of odd that he would take her to his apartment when I don't think she's going to want to be around a single man ever. But then she wakes up alone with you. I don't know. Whatever. I need to learn how to enjoy books that are fiction. And I seem to forget that sometimes. But this second time around reading it, I'm truly having a really fun time. I'm more reading it for what it is. It is still absolutely insane. At one point, he's even like, saying about how I can't tell her how I like Jane Austen books. I'm like, okay. That's a step too far. I'm sorry. I cannot have him liking Jane Austen books. When we just, every other sentence in his head is him thinking, how can I end this person? I want to get rid of this person. How can I do it? I have now about 8.5 hours left, and I still have about the length of a full-size book left to go. I have a couple of quotes here, and yes, I'm going to try and work around my dog because she has to be comfortable over anything, even over my comfort. Okay, so this was when she is using him as her boyfriend to get away from the creep. And this is in Vex's point of view. It says, the woman in front of me should be sitting on a floral couch with a cup of tea in one hand and a book in another. What she shouldn't be doing is sitting in my club, shaking like a leaf, making me want to wrap my arms around her and carry her back to my library. Oh yeah, this one was also really funny. This is in Dahlia's point of view now. She says, there's no way I'm admitting to anything, especially not to the fact that I was mooning over him like a silly girl with her first crush. Is Vex really my first crush? That's got to be a new one. Skip the quarterback or all the pop stars. My first crush is a crime lord who crushes bones for fun. There's also talk about romance novels, and I thought this quote was really good. What types of books do you read? She reads all about dragons and monsters and romance novels. You don't need to whisper. Reading a romance novel isn't anything to be embarrassed about. And I was like, yeah, I feel like some people have such like a stigmatism around them, but there shouldn't be. And this part I especially loved, obviously, because I'm reading closed door books. That is what my goal is, what I love the most. Basically, this teenager named Hope, her dad doesn't want her to read romance novels that have explicit content in them. And then Dahlia is saying that there are millions of them out there that focus on the most important part of falling in love. Yeah, and what's that? Your mind. Learning to really love someone starts here. Then it moves to your heart. As a writer, the most impactful part of any love story is not it's the falling in love, the realization that you've found the other half of your soul, the person you're meant to spend the rest of your life with. But they're just characters in a book, as love is a very real thing. And I was just like, that is why we read closed door books. And that is just why they're just so good. This is 13 minutes long. I'm going to go shut up now. I'm already on season 2, and guess when I started watching? I don't even think it's even been a week. I have such a problem. Yeah, I was gonna try and film, but this is better for sure. I guess she wants you to see her instead. It's not always about you. I know that's hard to believe, but it's not. Oh my goodness. Okay. Now you're just being clingy. I now only have this much left of the book. This book kind of feels like every single reader's fantasy put into one book, because you have that like overly protective guy. You have him loving books. You have him buy you books. It's kind of like a fever dream. It's kind of like, what am I reading? I'm not gonna lie, it's not the best book I've ever read, but I know what this book is and I'm here for it and I'm enjoying it. I feel like especially with dark romance, you have to go into it with this special mindset because there's some really weird crap that goes on. The main male characters are so possessive and so toxic. In real life, I would be literally running all the way home if he said one time that you're mine, you can't do this, you can't even bake something for another man. The audacity I would have. But in the book, I'm like, okay, if this main character wants to be with him, you know what? That's fine. I'm okay with it. You know those birds off of Finding Nemo, but they're like, mine, 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 mine. That is him. After he took a look at her, he's pretty much just like, yeah, she's mine. And I don't think he thought the option of, what if she actually doesn't want to be with a very controlling, possessive man? I don't think that was part of his thought process. But it all worked out for them. I'm sure they're living happily ever after somewhere. Of course, there is a lot of trigger warnings, which I don't even know if I will be allowed to write them in an Instagram post for content warnings. It's talked about very well. It's not overly descriptive or anything. I just was going to put that out there. There was one scene here where he sneaks into her library and snoops around her house. Did I mention that this is very toxic in a real world scenario? I believe I did. And he says, do women invite strangers into their library? I don't. I hoard my books like a dragon hoards his gold. If you get a tour of the library, you're in. I am now going to go and finish this. This cover is beautiful. There is no ugly shirtless man that I have to desperately hide. It is just so beautiful and so tasteful, and I love having this book on my shelf. It cost a pretty penny because it was an indie book in Canada that is literally like the size of a meteor from space, and it was worth it. I love having this on my shelf. Even though I should know what happens in this end, I just remember being confused. But honestly, I couldn't tell you. You could try and waterboard it out of me, and I don't think it's in my brain. I think it left a while ago. I'm gonna pretend I didn't hear that. I did it. I finished this big chunk of a book for the second time. Who is proud of me? I really enjoyed it this time around. I am so needing to know what happens in the rest of this series. And are Dahlia and Vex my favorite couple? No, not even close, honestly. But that's okay, because I don't have to fall head over heels in love with every single person I read about, because my brain is already so full of characters that I love that I don't know how much more room it has, but eventually we're going to find out. For any of you that is truly looking for a clean, dark romance, this is for you. There is absolutely no swearing, no even fade to black. It's just kisses. And they don't even kiss until like page 400. So if you want a slow burn, here you go. This was a perfect book to read also in a 24-hour readathon, because this took me a lot of time. And I think I had like a couple hours left, and then I finished How Jenna Became My Dilemma. Again, I'm obsessed with that book. It's a celebrity fake dating romance, and I just thought, oh, this would be a cute little book to read before bed. Like, nothing super crazy about it, but it was so, so good. Like, the chemistry between the two characters was unmatched. It was absolutely amazing. All right, there you have it. I have officially read for 24 hours. And we finished 4 books, which is insane, but the one doesn't really count because I was already like probably like 60% of the way through it. There's already 4 books that I've read for my 100 book reading goal in the new year, this year. I'm just so grateful that we ended up finding some really good books, because after that first book of the new year, I truly was like, what is going to happen? But it turned around and I ended up reading some absolutely amazing books, all above 3 stars. But yeah, unfortunately, I did have to rate At least I'm trying. 1 star. I never do that, but I just had to, so I'm sorry. But otherwise, pick up all the rest of these books. You will have the best time. Please let me know if any of you have read them, if you want to read them, your thoughts and opinions. Even if you hated it and I loved it, I want to know. My last video where I read for 24 hours, you guys seem to really like, so I thought might as well do it again. And if you guys want to see another one, just let me know. But thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, you could always give it a like. And if you want to see more, you could always subscribe. But I will see you next time. Bye. Was I even filming that whole time? Oh, thank goodness. I did not check if this mic is actually working. That would make me look really stupid if it wasn't. I'm like, I can't speak. We're now about 3 hours in. I don't have my mic. And my mic is almost dying. Oh my goodness. I'm so sorry. Wow. Where are my headphones? There's always something I'm looking for.